Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Dao Talks. I'm your host, Sam, here with Zhou Xuan Yun, here for another episode of Dao Talks. Today, we're going to talk about controlling your emotions. Welcome, Zhou.
Hey, Sam. Welcome back.
Thank you. All right. So today we're going to talk about just some of the methods that Daoists use to control the emotions. I think it goes without saying that controlling your emotions is important in many of the Daoist arts, right, Zhou? So they emphasize a lot of calmness, a lot of presence. So I want to ask, do Daoist practices, do they teach specific things to control the emotions, or is it just the practices themselves that teach you how to control them?
First thing is, yes, we need it's a kind of like a skill. Need someone to teach you how to do it. Because nobody teach you the why, how to do it. You don't know how to do it. Second, of course, we have to practice. If we no practice, it's no work. It's you learn and practice. It's both. It's all important.
Yeah. So I guess that's a good question. How are some of the ways that people teach it that you learn in Wudang to control someone's emotions? Control that.
So in the Daoist, they have a lot of why. It's a lot of different why to control the emotion. For example, that's the easy way is we use Qigong or brass. That's kind of to control emotion. Of course, the Daoist have another why is like a particular something like that practice, like a skill to practice these skills to control that stuff. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Yeah. So we talk about these practices. These are things more that you would do to prepare yourself before you end up in a situation that you're upset, correct? As opposed to just skills that you would do. You're not going to start to learn Qigong after you're already upset.
Yeah.
Cool. So I had another question just to follow up on that. I've heard some stories of Qigong masters who, they had cultivated a very refined persona. They're very calm, but when they do get angry, they have like a big health problem because their qi is so built, so refined that they actually have a problem. Can this be the case, or is this off base?
Yes, this is like most they're talking about the anger. It's the anger is the big problem. It's of course it's an emotion. There's a big problem. I also have another stuff. Okay, we first talking about the anger. In the medical, you learn acupuncture. Suppose also know that if you anger too much, hurt you, liver. If someone have the problem, so I told a story. I met a priest. He's very, very good. He's very, very good about the Daoist arts, Daoist culture. He's learned a lot. But just one problem is just can control the emotion. He always anger because he's practice another way, different way. Then he have a big problem. How the liver, like a liver cancer.
Oh wow.
It's the problem. It's for normal people. So, we always, if people angry too much, they lose their mind, Don't angry, a lot of people angry is just really they lose their mind. They do a lot of bad stuff. It's the control, the emotion, control the anger is more important for the life. It's very, very important.
Yeah, anger is probably one of the most important emotions to really get a grip on.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. In Chinese medicine, we talk about anger hurting the liver. We also talk about it raising the qi too much. So people that are always angry also often have stiff shoulders, headaches, things like that as well. Do you have any tips for people? Oh, go ahead. Sorry if you're going to say.
Oh, no, it's okay. So, yes, also the anger, we have to think about if someone have with blood pressure, If have the blood pressure, is also the bigger problem. Also, if the anger all the time without all the qi, the blood, everything go to the head, it's like can have the very, very bad issue. You ask the practice the Qigong is the very practice how to do the stuff. It's the very easy as we just use the brass, deeper brass. If sometimes you just like a very, very angry, want to do the crazy stuff, you just like 1 minute, use your deep brass, very, very slowly, then your mind coming down. Everything you will watch very clearly. After the anger, we taught lose your mind, you can do a lot of crazy stuff. You can kill people, can kill yourself. Okay, it's a bigger problem. We're not talking about it's a fact. It's the issue. There's a lot of some people they do that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, like you're saying, like if people can just slow down, they wouldn't react in the same way. I think that's one of the reasons why, right? So we, when we talk about a lot of Qigong, we direct our attention down. We sink. We put the attention in the dantian. Is that part of the reason why we do that, to get the qi out of the head to calm ourselves?
Yes. It's like that. We always feel like people can spend. We not say like a half hour. Okay, 2 minutes. If you don't have time, morning, evening, just like a deeper breath each time, like 10 minutes, or just like 10 times, just slowly deeper breath every morning and night. Either you have the blood pressure or like always anger, Of course, if you can do meditation, it's the best. If you don't want to do it, just deeper breath. If when you anger, you feeling you want to anger, sometimes, life is difficult. Not like a difficult. It's always have a lot of issue come out. Sometimes you just want to anger, just want to, okay, if you feeling that, it's how to think, it's not wrong way. It's totally not right. Just like, okay, deeper breath. Like, go outside, maybe the walk, fresh air.
Yeah.
It's all can help,
Absolutely. No, those are things I use every day. I can't imagine.
Yeah, we do. We have a lot of Qigong practice. We have a lot. On YouTube also have some like a free Qigong.
I think those are great videos for people to check back in on the YouTube. Just the easy, like simple, very simple but very powerful. Doesn't have to be complicated for it to work. So next question, how do the emotions relate to the human soul in relation to Taoism? So
wow. Okay, it's a big question. First, answer it's a very big question.
We can parse it apart. It's
first talking about the soul. If the emotion is a lot of different emotion. We feeling also emotion. You angry, you sad, you happy, you're all combined with that. Either you're laughing, you're afraid, you're thinking, everything is the feeling. Always the emotion. All feeling from here. We talk about you anger or you're like sad all the time. That can broken your soul. What's broken your soul? You can think out, or you can you can figure out what happened future. If we can practice Qigong, we can control that. Like we do meditation. Like you can more clearly see what you want to do. Can more clear about your for future or what do you do? All can clearly
find your purpose again.
Yes, a purpose ticket. So I'm over Daoism. It's like a big question. We first talking about we have a lot of for translator for maybe for the acupuncture they translate for a lot of different soul.
Yeah, so in acupuncture it's traditionally translated as the Hun and the Po. So we talk about the Hun being related to the liver and the Po being related to the lungs. That's very simplified, of course, because we also have translations that talk about the 3 spirit souls, the 3 Hun, and then the 7 body souls or corporeal souls, the 7 Po. So that's when you talk about the Sanhun Qipo.
People, yes, 7 people. Look, you can see the also have a picture. The picture, the 3 Hun and the 7 Po. What do you look like? For me, the all kind of like with imagine metaphor. Imagine metaphor.
Yeah, a metaphor for
the things like it's no metaphor. Yes, it's not really like half the soul human like that. For my opinion, what is the Po, 3 Po? Okay. First we talking about the Daoism. The Daoism, they talking about the human, how to be a human. It's the 3 Po. One from we have the heaven and the earth. And we human. So one Po living in our body, one Po, one soul living in the heaven. Also another Po living in the earth, but they always round everywhere. It's the 3 Po because we human is first with we are Po in our body because the Yang Po, the Yang is heaven, the Yin is in the earth. That together, Tian and Di, the heaven and the earth, together make a human. So have another Po in our body. It's the Daoism. What do you think? Also, the Po kind of is Yang, the liver, 3 Po, we Yang. Also, we call top of the 7 another soul and from a liver. The 7 soul, all emotion. Yeah. What's the emotion we before always talking about? Happy, anger, sadness, laughing, afraid, and fear, and think. These are the 3 emotions. These 3 Po all can if you know how to balance, you can control it. They can take you the 3 Hun's power. Come down, take your soul down, real soul down. Your soul in your body is the 1 Po. It's the 3 Po kind of like a Yang. Also, you can maybe example for people. The 3 Po kind of is a my power.
The 3 Hun, the ethereal.
Yes,
physical. Yeah.
Yes, from a liver. It's example talking to people, kind of like my power. If you Po very good, Yang very good, very strong, you not scared anything. Either you can come. That's very we call it if you are very brave because you Po very strong, very young. It's all. If you are the we call another 3, or you always like a sadness, always sad, always thinking too much, always fear. It's like the you can take your my power down, take your my power, take the Yang, all the Qi, my power down. It's the 7 soul. We call it the liver, the feelings. That's why Daoism, when we want to practice, first you control your 7 soul, then control your 3 Po. Because with 3 Po, if you very strong, too young, also no good. You're very brave. If you getting crazy, sometimes too brave, also no good. And so we like people when they crazy. They want to no care. They want to crush everything. We say this one is liver. That's a Po, very very strong. It's my power, something like a very very crazy. You have to control the my power. Your 3 Po coming down. Everybody, the 3 Po just belong to your liver. No like that. Always run the same way. It's no good. We have to bring everything to our body. Here I talking about another example. So for Chinese culture, if the people, the kids, most of the kids, if sometimes they always afraid. Someone like, the kids, someone like yelling that, just like afraid. We call that poor go somewhere. For accent, someone very yelling, very loud. The kids are like, scared. Then future, he always afraid.
The shock is cause the paw to leave the body. Is that?
Yes, okay. yes. Of course, we call the paw leave your body. Chinese, they have a lot of trick, a lot of stuff to do. And then we use drums or drop some a metal stuff. Go somewhere, have to call the name, call the paw, someone's paw, or you have to come back, you have to go out of the house, come back to the kid's body. And sometimes it works, Yeah. It's so fun. So, it's like a shaman, kind of a little bit like a shaman stuff, Of course, we are poor. It's just, from my opinion, just give the kids, say, okay, no problem, you will okay. And then the kids are feeling safe. They come to breath again. They just do that. But it's kind of like some kids have the problem. You just every day just give the very nice talk, feeling like, no problem, everything will be okay. Then the kids figure, everything come back.
It's kind of like making a safe space in the body so that the paw can feel at home, right? So
yes,
okay.
Well, Chinese call Shen and go here, everything go back. This is the paw. The one we call the power over the three Hun, three soul in our liver. It's very, very strong, very good. But seven paw is we call the yin. They can take the power away. If you not control it, have a problem. Look, a lot of people have the problem if it's thinking too much. Take your my power down. Yeah, take away power, come down. Take power, everything down. Take power down. If you are scared too much, also afraid too much, also take your power. It's down. It's the yin. Also, if you are like anger too much, like a family, also sometimes can create can broken your paw.
So I think it just helped me to get a better understanding of what you're saying. So the Three Hun is kind of the yang portion, the before manifestation in the physical body, whereas the paw is more in the body, in the present moment that's happening right now in front of us. Is that a way of thinking about it? One is more physical, one is a little less physical, or not quite?
I think it's hard to say physical. One is a feeling. For me, one is a feeling. The emotion always the feelings. And I've told the three paw is we power. We mind power. We body's energy. Like a Jing Chi Shun energy. If you the energy good, can control the balance, your paw, three paw, everything's good. You have to take, kind of strong, the young stuff, everything good. Always for me, it's the power. It's the body power. Not for body, it's, yes, of course, it's the body. Not really like a physical. All for me, it's the emotion and the energy.
Yeah, so the paw is our emotions in balance with each other. So if we're missing one or one is too strong, then we're going to have a whole bunch of problems. Like if one of the paw responsible for anger is too active, it's a problem. If another one is not active enough, it's a problem. Is that?
Yeah, kind of for Daoist, they have to control. Not like just a balance, it's a control it. Of course, kind of like a balance. They have to control it, If we just like you're control it, of course, they have like a skill how to practice. Or like people that always like want to give up. We call this the mind power not strong enough. We call the paw not strong enough. Either they always afraid of something. They're not enough. You have to use some skill to practice, or your body needs something like a vitamin or something.
Herbal medicine or something.
like give you qi, you can eat in the herbs, and the qi make you qi strong, then you can hun and po is strong, And yes, of course, Daoists, they have a lot about the article, a lot about the, Daoist book, talking about the hun and po. Talking about that it's a lot. Of course, they all have the different opinion,
Yeah. So I guess one question I have about that is when we talk about controlling the po, what is it from a Taoist perspective that controls the po? Is it the Shun? Is it the Three Hun? Or what? Which aspect of our soul is kind of should be in the driver's seat as we go through these practices?
Yes, we have, either you in my Neidan class, in my Qigong classes, we talk about how to control all the emotion and everything. So we bring all the Chinese called Niwan on the top, or the Niwan on the top, Bai Hui Xue, the here, Niwan, Niwan Xue, Bai Hui. We bring all the energy go here, on the top. You just okay. With here, of course, mind is here. Use your mind to control. You have this bad feeling, just not care. Okay, bring energy, just like meditation. Or we bring all in your dantian. The qi to dantian. You practice meditation, practice qi. Don't think about that stuff. Like we are feeling thinking too much. Okay, give up. We always talking like a monkey. We also feeling like a monkey. Okay, bring the account to dantian or bring everything here to meditation, to the Qigong. You're feeling afraid. Okay, not care about. Don't think about that. Come to meditation. You just think about it. You have power to meditation. Wherever you feeling sadness, okay, not care. Come to meditation. Control it. If you feeling like happy too much, crazy too much, or want to do something too much. Okay, it's not hurt for your heart because we call it laughing too much and can hurt your heart. Heart, yeah. So okay, breathe breath in, bring the energy here. That's we call it control. You Sanhun Qipo. It's bring all the energy to here, make it.
Yeah.
Control.
No, that's exactly what it feels like. Is that you're kind of in addition to having some control, it's kind of like you said, bringing the soul back to the body. That's the best feeling I could way to describe some of the feelings you have in meditation is your spirit kind of comes back in somehow.
Yes. Correct. Yeah, all the feelings, all the spirit. Yeah, we call the feelings, 7 feelings. All the spirit come out. Everything can come out. Bring everything, go back to your body.
Yeah. So how does something like Jing Chi Shun relate to the Sanhun Qipo?
Yes, Jing Chi Shun. We know. If you talk about the Jing Chi Shun, it's a little bit too much to explain, A lot of people, for beginner, they don't understand what is Jing Chi Shun.
That could be
we have to explain from beginning. So it's a series. It's like a series. We talk show for everyone. So we can just simply talk about the Jing Chi Shun. Just think about talking about that. What is the Jing Chi Shun? Just like your body's power. Your body is strong enough. Either your body is strong enough. What kind of all of your body steam, very healthy, and your body your body is steam healthy, your body healthy, you are very strong, you're feeling always have energy, look at your eyes, very shining, look at your face, not red, just feeling very, have good energy. This is called the Jing Chi Shun. That's very good. But look, that's very, very good. Of course, you saw always you're happy, nice. You're so getting beautiful. Everything getting nice. I would just simply talk about that. And that's feeling nice. You it's so beautiful. You coming down, you always want to help people, you have a strong body, you're happy in your life, enjoy your life. Everything is good. This is the soul related with Jing Chi Shun. Of course, in the future, we can just talk about Jing Chi Shun. It's like, we can talk about that.
Yeah, that'll be another episode, so make sure you subscribe. So when we talk about the 3 Hun and the 7 Po, there's a bunch of questions that I have still, but I think the one that stands out the most is, how do I say it? They don't really exist interdependently of each other, right? Like they're I guess I have more questions about the Hun. So we have the Hun from heaven, from earth, and from
our body, yeah.
From our body. How are they different? What is does the Hun in heaven, does it go up to heaven and then come back? Is it I think from a very basic perspective?
It's how to say, the Daoism that explain a lot. We always explain like a lot of different. So it's we talking about one as the Hun, one is go to the in the heaven. Now always talking about you human, you do bad stuff or good stuff. Then they talking to the God or someone.
Oh, okay.
So one is another Hun, always like around the earth. They do some not like a bad stuff. I will always like for fun or something or not in your body. Sometimes they come back to your body, and so your body also have a Hun as always stay in your body. It's like I explain like that why. And for my opinion, of course, it's like our soul. One is in our body as us, as me. One is kind of like a good. Also the Hun Po as a evil and a bad. Like we have a good one and a bad Po. Good Hun and a bad Hun. One yang, also one yin.
Yeah.
One want to do good stuff, one want to do bad stuff. I kind of like that for me, One is in your body,
What's an example of the Earth Hun, like going and doing kind of some mischief? Like what would the earthly Hun want to do?
Like missing you, like they bring the bad energy, the bad stuff, they can bring we have the soul. Okay, we can kind of like some like bring some like we always like we call it the Hun. Always go. We like do meditation. Hey, where your Hun going? Oh, you want to think some bad stuff, want to do some bad stuff, then we're killing something like that. Sometimes you Hun in the heaven, oh, it's very, very nice. You want to do good stuff. Why is in your body, stay there. Kind of like that.
Okay.
A lot of different idea about the Hun, the 3 Hun. There's a lot of different idea to explain the Hun. I just talking to you, for me, it's always about your body's power, This is a Daoist, it's a lot of different school, different opinion, different explain.
Yeah, so I'm sure it's very difficult to explain at a beginner level. I guess just to make sure that myself and some of our listeners are understanding you correctly, you're kind of, the Hun, the 3 Hun have a association with kind of good, bad or not good, and then in the middle there's us, kind of trapped in between these two, the heavenly and the earthly realm. We're in between.
Yeah, it's between. Yes, between. Of course, I have another philosophy. Chinese always talking three to everybody. The 3 is a very important words. And we call that like a 天地人, the earth. The earth, heaven, and the human. They also the 3. Everything have the 3. When body has 3 treasure, Jing Chi Shun. Everything like everything like how to say. Not like a create everything, not just create everything, like control and help each other. Also it's kind of like a balance. Also it's kind of like a balance, and like that.
Okay.
And it's very difficult to explain really like for the Daoism because too much opinion about the three po. I believe all the Daoist book translator, either you reading a lot of the medical with the people who translate the Daoist book to the American West, also they have a lot of different opinion, you know.
Yeah, we definitely get a very medical view from acupuncture school and education. We get, like this is what happens when the Hun is out of balance. Sometimes they just talk about the one Hun. Sometimes if it's a more Daoist text, they talk about three. But we see these problems, like one of the medical problems that can happen with the Hun is sometimes dreaming too much. Like the Hun travels somewhere dreaming, the person doesn't sleep well, and so they have physical problems because the Hun is kind of too active. It wants to do too much overnight. Yeah.
Yes, that's what we call that like Earth Hun, Earth Hun. They always run the somewhere, they not come back. No one to come back. Yeah, there are a lot of ideas. Yeah, that's like that. Yeah.
Okay, and then since we talked about kind of the location of the Hun, what about the Po? Are they all always in our body? Because they're emotions, but they're also kind of their own spirits as well. Are they always with us, or are they sometimes wander off?
Yes, they're with us, because everybody have feelings. Everybody have the same different feelings. Everybody, they have it. It's very, very natural in our body. Because for the Daoist opinion and the health opinion, because the emotion, the emotion is good, make life like colors, make life very, very good, we supposed to have that, we can't just like keep we call like a tree or like something. It's no fun, always keep a spirit or keep like one emotion, one color. It's not good. But for the Daoist opinion, let's take your energy down, inner body. But the same feelings take your energy down, take you good, your body's the good, we call it the Jing Chi Shun, take your Shun, take something out. It's supposed to know like that. If you want to be immortal or want to have a healthy body or want to be want to be a Daoist or want to practice Daoist skills, you have to control that. That's why Daoists always think about, everything's supposed to like a water. Supposed to like a water coming down, just like that. It's good for your body. Eating food, everything. Okay, don't always like we have a taste, all the different feeling, or like a thought, sweet, or not have that. If this and more good for your body, you just taste the natural flavor, like the vegetable, natural flavor, everything natural flavor is good. If you are too sweet, too salty, or too something, it's no good. It's everything like that, The seven Po, it's like that. Human, we're supposed to have that. But we have to remember this part. If you too much over, will crush right down. That's why a lot of people have the problem. It's because they're thinking too much. I don't think, go work. You don't have time to think. You're feeling healthy. Like laughing too much. Always people laughing when they go to the party. Yeah, I'm so happy. Then go back home. You're so empty. So empty. Then you always want to go some way to find the stuff. Then go home. Again, empty. It can crush your life too. Yes, like you always anger. Of course, we know that it's not good. Always you are afraid. You're always afraid of something. Always afraid of something. Oh my God, don't do that. Oh my God, don't do that. Like it also can crush your life. May take your energy, everything down. We have to control that. We do meditation, make your chi strong. Control it, make you poor, and when everything go back, your body, make your mind power strong. This we want, we need.
Yeah, I think you made me think. two things. You made me think both why it's hard, I think, to practice some of these Taoist practices in the West, and also why it's so important in modern times to practice these things. Because like you said, there's always, sometimes there's an opportunity, and obviously that's one thing I think people are learning during coronavirus, where there's less parties for people that like to go out a lot or, always be social, is that there's, if you have that excitement, if you have that, there's going to be the letdown. There's going to be the emptiness. There's always going to be one and then the other. That's kind of the yin yang of life. So the Taoist way seems to be kind of finding the straight path, the maybe not in between, but just holding close to the Tao. It's not going too high or too low. It's tasting the food naturally. It's not throwing in all these extra spices to make it unnatural. Is that?
Yes. I can give you another example. We're talking about the control the emotion. We can see with humans' life, like most, not like a senior, like getting adult, getting old aged, that always most of the people, they can control the emotion, that enjoy the life. Always younger people and someone can control the emotion, that always unhappy the life. They not enjoy the life. Always angry or like they not care. Those maybe someone that after they just always thinking too much or like they like they can kill themselves. Some people like we say have a mental problem. Yeah, like that. So if you can control that, this is the bigger problem. Look. You have to control. Why we always, look at that couple senior, they hold good life, they enjoy the life. Because younger people, it's no control, it's good. You can figure out, you need the time. Then you get age, then you can figure out, control the emotion. Control everything, you will have a good life. If you can control your emotion, whatever how old, you always can do a lot of better stuff. We can see a lot of older people also have a bigger problem. Most of the younger people, like if they can control the emotion, they're always disciplined about the life. Maybe if we like that, why I can't like that? Then you sometimes, life is so difficult. Sometimes, I want to that. As younger people, because they don't know how to control the emotions, the 7 pole. When they take the energy down, they're always sick, always have some issue, Yeah,
no, that's really helpful in understanding it. It reminds me of, all the college kids are about to come back to Boston. It reminds me of college days when kids are getting sick all the time when they're at the healthiest time of their life. This the prime of their health. But instead of using that to generate some purpose, that's oftentimes just spending your emotions, not taking care of your poor, that sort of thing. So it's definitely puts things in perspective for sure.
Yeah, but this still is good for younger people. They can figure out what they need. But as they can learn the control will be good.
Yeah, it's good to have a balance. It's good to go out and learn what you need, but hopefully you don't lose so much control that, like you said, you're committing suicide or going crazy. Will you find some at least a little bit of balance?
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree.
Okay, cool. So anything else that we should know about Sanhun Qipo that you can think of right now?
For me, if talking too deeply, it's a little bit complicated for people to understanding. So we just like that, simple to talk. I hope everyone can catch it. Like that. It's no. Maybe for future we see if someone here we really talking about Daoism practice, we can more deeply. Also my English not enough to explain everything. Maybe someone future have the event workshop have a translator. Always have a translator. We have a very good translator. We can very deeply to explain about that. Sanhun Qipo. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Shifu. If people have more questions, they should definitely leave it in the comment box. As always, make sure that you subscribe and like our videos to support us and see more. And thank you, Shifu, for being with us today and sharing your wisdom.
Thank you. Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.
Yeah. See everyone next time.